The mask of performance, reclaiming your vital energy. Hello, dear one. It is so wonderful to be with you today. I want you to take a moment and just sit back. Let your body feel heavy and supported. Take a deep, gentle breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you are taking off a heavy, tight costume that you've been wearing all day, maybe even all your life. Today, we are going to talk about something that is at the heart of so much of our tiredness and our secret unhappiness. We are going to talk about the mask of performance. You see, my dear, most of us were raised to be good little boys and good little girls. We learned very early on that if we acted a certain way, we got a smile. If we performed a certain task, we got a hug. If we stayed quiet and didn't make trouble, we felt safe. Without even realizing it, we started building a mask. We started performing for our parents, then for our teachers, then for our bosses, and eventually even for our partners. We think that this performance is what keeps us loved. We think that if we show the world who we really are, with all our messy feelings, our unique quirks, and our imperfections, that the world will turn away. So we keep the mask on. We perform happiness when we are sad. We perform strength when we are weary. We perform agreement when we want to say no. But darling, I want to tell you something very important. Performing is exhausting. It is the primary reason for the deep fatigue so many of us feel. The moment you drop the act, you stop leaking your precious life force. The moment you stop performing, you finally, beautifully become yourself. The cost of the costume, why we are so tired. I want you to think about how much energy it takes to manage an image. Think about the mental checks you do throughout the day. Am I sounding smart enough? Am I looking successful enough? Am I being nice enough so that they won't be angry with me? This constant self-monitoring is like running a dozen apps on your phone at once. It drains your battery until you have nothing left for your own joy. When you are performing, you are leaking energy in every direction. You are giving your power away to everyone around you, hoping for their approval to tell you that you are okay. But the universe works on the law of authenticity. When you are performing, you are sending a vibrational message to the infinite that says, the real me is not good enough. The real me is a mistake. I must pretend to be someone else to be worthy of life. And because the universe always says yes to your inner convictions, it cannot send you the true good that belongs to the real you. It can only send surface rewards to the surface mask. No wonder you feel empty. You are feeding a character while your soul is starving. Authenticity is the end of exhaustion. I want you to repeat this after me. Very softly, authenticity is the end of exhaustion. Just feel those words in your body. Imagine the relief of never having to try again. To be authentic simply means to be natural. It means being like the grass that just grows or the sun that just shines. When you are authentic, your energy is contained. It is centered. You aren't pushing or pulling. You are just being. And in that beingness, there is a massive reservoir of power. When you stop performing, you stop the internal war, you stop the friction between your inner truth and your outer show. This internal peace is the most energizing state in the world. You will find that you have more vitality for your work, more patience for your loved ones, and more love for yourself. You don't need a vacation from your life. You just need a vacation from your mask, healing the people pleaser within. For many of us, the mask is the mask of the people pleaser. We are addicted to the thumbs up. We are terrified of someone being disappointed in us. But I want to tell you a secret. You cannot please everyone, and it is not your job to try. When you perform to please others, you are actually manipulating them. You are trying to control their opinion of you. And because people are fickle, your safety is always on shaky ground. If they change their mind, your world collapses. I want you to anchor your safety in your self-acceptance instead. Affirm, I release the need to be perfect. I release the need for everyone to like me. I am free to be my true, wonderful self. When you stop performing for others, you give them the gift of your truth, and the right people, the ones who truly belong in your life, will love the real you far more than they ever loved the mask. Mirror work beholding the own mask. Soul, I want you to use the mirror to help you drop the act. The This is a very tender process, so please be gentle with yourself. Stand before the mirror and look past your hair, past your skin, and look directly into your eyes. I want you to see the chilled inside who started performing because they were afraid. I want you to talk to that child. Say, I see you. I know you've been working so hard to be good. I know you've been trying to keep everyone happy, but you can stop now. I love you exactly as you are. You don't have to do anything to be worthy of my love. As you say this, you will feel a softening in your face. You will feel the tension leave your jaw. You are validating the real you. You are welcoming yourself home. This is the beginning of true success, because success that requires a mask is just another form of slavery. But success that flows from your authentic self is pure joy. The universe responds to the real. The universe is like a mirror of your internal state. If you show the universe a fake image, it can only give you fake results. But the moment you are real, the moment you say, this is how I feel, this is what I want, this is who I am, the universe recognizes you. It's as if a lock has been turned. When you are authentic, you are vibrationally clear. Your signals are sharp. The universe can finally find you to give you the blessings that were custom made for your true nature. You will find that opportunities appear that actually fit you. You will find that relationships deepen because they are based on honesty rather than performance. You are no longer acting in a play you didn't write. You are the author of your own reality. You are aligned with a creative power of life. The permission to be ritual. I want you to practice dropping the mask every morning. Before you go out into the world, I want you to give yourself permission to be. The hand on heart, place your hand over your heart and feel your true center. The release, imagine unzipping a heavy suit of armor and stepping out of it. Feel how light you are. The decrees, speak it with gentle authority. Today, I choose to be myself. I release the need to perform. I release the need to prove my worth. I am enough exactly as I am. I move through my day with ease and authenticity. My energy is mine to keep. The breath, take a huge, unrestricted breath. Feel it filling every part of you. As you go through your day, if you feel yourself tightening up or starting to perform for someone, just wiggle your toes. Remind yourself, I don't have to do this. I can just be me. Watch how people relax around you when you are relaxed in your truth. You are teaching the world that authenticity is safe. You are ending the exhaustion for yourself and for everyone you meet. The mask is heavy. The truth is light. You are free to be you. And so it is. The relief of I am enough, resting in your inherent excellence. Hello, dear one. It is so good to be with you in this moment. I want you to take a very deep, slow breath with me. Just let it all out. There is nothing you have to do right now. There is no one you have to impress. You are safe, you are loved, and most importantly, you are enough. I want us to sit with that word for a moment. Enough. For so many of us, this is the hardest thing to believe. We live in a world that is constantly whispering and sometimes shouting that we are not enough. It tells us we aren't thin enough, or rich enough, or smart enough, or young enough. And because we believe these lies, we enter into the performance loop. We think that if we just work a little harder, if we just accomplish one more thing, if we just get that one promotion or that one person's approval, then finally we will be enough. But darling, that is a moving finish line. You can never reach it because the belief in not enough is an internal ghost that can't be satisfied by external gains. Today, we are going to lay that ghost to rest. We are going to discover the profound relief of the truth you are enough, exactly as you are, right here and right now. The fear of being found out. Have you ever felt like an imposter? Have you ever felt that if people really knew you, if they saw your hidden doubts or your quiet struggles, they wouldn't respect you anymore? This is the fear of being found out, and it is the fuel for almost all performance. When we don't believe we are enough, we feel like we are hiding behind a curtain. We perform excellence to distract people from the flaws we think we have. But what a heavy burden that is to carry. To live every day as if you are one mistake away from being exposed. This fear creates a tightness in your solar plexus. It makes your heart beat a little too fast. It keeps you from trying new things because you are afraid of mistake, will prove your unworthiness. I want you to look at that fear and say, thank you for trying to protect me, but I don't need to hide anymore. My worth is not a secret, it is a fact. Your existence is not a mistake. Your life is not a problem to be solved. You are a divine expression of life, and life doesn't make B-grade creations. Your existence is your excellence. We have been taught that excellence is something we achieve. We think it's a gold medal or a perfect score, but I want to suggest a new definition. Your existence is your excellence. The very fact that you are breathing, the very fact that your heart is beating, the very fact that you are aware.
That is the miracle.
You don't have to be extraordinary to be lovable. You don't have to be famous to be significant. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. Think of a newborn baby. Does that baby do anything? It can't even hold its own head up. It doesn't have a resume. It hasn't earned a penny. And yet, when we look at that baby, we see pure excellence. We see a miracle. We love it just because it is. Somewhere along the way, you were told that you outgrew that inherent worth. You were told that you had to start paying for your space on the planet with performance. But life never took away your gold medal. You are still that miracle. You are still that pure excellence. I want you to affirm with me, I am lovable because I exist. I am worthy because I am here. My existence is my excellence. When you believe this, the need to prove simply dissolves. You stop running and you start resting, dissolving the need to prove. Think about how much of your daily stress comes from proving. Proving you are a good parent, proving you are a valuable employee, proving you are a supportive friend. When you are proving, you are vibrationally shouting. You are plexing your muscles to show how strong you are. But when you know you are enough, you can relax. You don't have to shout. A diamond doesn't have to prove. It's hard, it just is. A rose doesn't have to prove. It's beautiful, it just is. When you rest in your enoughness, you become a quiet power. You do your work, but you don't do it to earn your worth. You do it for the joy of expression. You love your family, but you don't do it to be a good person. You do it because love is your natural state. This dissolution of proof is the greatest relief a human heart can feel. It is the end of the struggle. It is the beginning of peace. Mirror work accepting the as is. I want you to go to your mirror again. I want you to look at your face as is, not as you wish it were, not as it was 10 years ago, but as is. Look at the story in your eyes. Look at the wisdom in your lines. And I want you to say to your reflection, I love you exactly as you are. I don't need you to change to be worthy of my love. I don't need you to accomplish anything today to be enough. You are enough right now, in this moment. If you feel tears coming up, let them flow. Those are tears of relief. Those are the old walls of performance crumbling down. For so long, you've been a harsh taskmaster to yourself. You've been a judge who never gives a verdict of not guilty. Today, the trial is over. You are exonerated. You are free. Look at yourself and smile, a real smile, and say, welcome home. You are enough. Resting in the I am, there is a profound spiritual power in the words I am. When you add enough to them, you are aligning yourself with the source of all life. The source never says, I'm almost enough. The universe never says, I'll be enough when I have more stars. The universe is a complete system, and you are a complete part of that system. You don't have to be the whole ocean to be enough. You just have to be a true drop. When you affirm I am enough, you are plugging yourself into the grid of divine abundance. You are saying, I am a perfect match for the good I desire. Because how can prosperity find you if you feel empty? Prosperity is a match for fullness. When you feel enough inside, you more than enough outside. You are no longer seeking to fill a hole. You are sharing from a full cup. The relief of enoughness ritual. I want you to practice this resting ritual whenever you feel the pressure of the world starting to squeeze. You, the body, check. Notice where you are tense. Is it your jaw, your shoulders, your stomach? The softening consciously. Soften those areas. Melt into your chair. The affirmation, say it as a comforting whisper. I am enough. I am enough exactly as I am. I have nothing to prove. I am a beloved child of the universe, and my existence is my excellence. I rest in my worth today. The release, imagine a heavy shadow lifting off your chest and floating away into the sky. As you go through your day, if you find yourself comparing yourself to others, if you see someone's success and feel less than, just stop, breathe, and remind yourself that's their journey and it's beautiful. But I am enough right here. My excellence is already established. You are safe from the race. You are free from the audit. You are whole. The race is over. The verdict is in. You are enough. And so it is healing the people pleaser within the freedom of self-approval. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a moment to just be very still. Put down your phone, rest your hands, and just listen to the sound of my voice. I want to talk to you about a habit that many of us carry like a heavy, invisible backpack. It's the habit of people pleasing. We often think of people pleasing as a kind trait. We think it makes us nice or helpful or easy to get along with. We tell ourselves that we are just being selfless. But if we are very honest with ourselves, we find that people pleasing is actually quite exhausting. It is a constant checking of the weather in everyone else's eyes to see if it is safe for us to exist. I want to suggest a new perspective to you today, a perspective that might feel a little bit challenging at first, but it is the truth that will set you free. People-pleasing is actually a form of manipulation. When we people-please, we are trying to control what others think of us. We are acting a certain way to force a specific reaction, usually a thumbs up or a nod of approval. But darling, you cannot control the weather, and you certainly cannot control the internal weather of another person. When you spend your life trying to manage everyone else's opinion of you, you lose your own internal compass. Today, we are going to heal the pleaser. We are going to stop looking out there for a yes and start finding the infinite yes that already lives in your own heart. We are going to affirm with courage, I release the need to please everyone. I am free to be me. The exhaustion of the external compass. Think about how much calculated effort goes into being a people pleaser. Before you speak, you eat it, your words to make sure they won't offend. Before you act, you scan the room to see what is expected. You become a chameleon, changing your colors to match the furniture of whoever you are with. This chameleon life is incredibly draining. It's like trying to balance a dozen plates on sticks all at once. If one person frowns, you rush over to fix their plate. If another person disappears, you feel like you've failed. This is what I call the external compass. You have placed your North Star in the hands of people who are just as confused and human as you are. If they are having a bad day, your compass spins in circles. If they are judgmental, your compass points toward shame. I want you to reclaim your compass today. I want you to realize that the only opinion that can truly sustain you is the one you have of yourself when you are alone in the quiet. Manipulation vs. authentic kindness. There is a big difference between authentic kindness and people-pleasing. Authentic kindness flows from a full cup. You give because you have plenty to give and you don't need anything in return. But people-pleasing is a transaction. You are giving your compliance in exchange for safety or approval. It's a contract that the other person didn't even sign. When you please out of fear, you are manipulating the situation. You are hiding your true feelings because you don't trust that the real you is lovable. This lack of trust is what creates the resentment that pleasers often feel. You do everything for everyone else and then you feel angry because they don't appreciate you the way you want. But darling, they can't appreciate you because they haven't met you. They've only met the performance. When you stop pleasing, you start being. And when you are being, you allow for real connection, you allow for honesty. You allow for the kindness that doesn't cost you your soul. Releasing the need for the thumbs up. Why are we so hungry for that thumbs up from the world? It's usually because we have an empty space inside where our self-approval should be. We think that if enough people like us, it will eventually fill the hole. But it's like trying to fill a sieve with water. The approval leaks out as soon as it's given and you have to go hunting for more. I want you to plug the holes today. I want you to retire from your job as the world's cheerleader. You don't need a majority vote to be worthy. You don't need a permission slip from your boss or your mother or your partner to have a good day. I want you to affirm, I am the authority in my life. I approve of myself. When you approve of yourself, the thumbs up from the world becomes optional. If it comes, it's a nice bonus, like a cherry on a sundae. But if it doesn't come, the sundae is still delicious. You are no longer starving for external validation. You are feasting on internal self-respect. Mirror work, giving yourself the yes. I want you to go to your mirror. This is where the healing really happens. Look at your reflection and see the tired eyes of the pleaser. See the smile that maybe doesn't quite reach the eyes because it's so practiced. I want you to look at yourself and say, I am so sorry I've been making you work so hard to be liked. I am so sorry I've been sacrificing your truth for someone else's comfort. From now on, your yes is the only one that matters to me. I want you to give yourself a big internal thumbs up. Say, I like you. I really like you. I like your no just as much as I like your yes. I like your brave truth even if it makes people uncomfortable. When you do this, you are building a foundation that no one can shake. You are anchoring your worth in reality rather than opinion. You are savvy in your on approval. The power of the healthy no. A people pleaser is terrified of the word no to a pleaser. No feels like a wall. It feels like rejection. It feels mean. But in reality, no is a boundary of love. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your truth, you are saying yes to yourself. If you always say yes when you want to say no, your yes becomes worthless. It has no weight. It has no integrity. But when you have the courage to say no, your yes becomes a sacred promise. People will actually respect you more when you have boundaries. They will know where they stand with you. And even if they are disappointed at first, they will value your honesty over your compliance. I want you to practice a small nah today. Say nah to a small request that you don't want to do. And as you say it, feel the power in your solar plexus. Feel the integrity returning to your bones. Affirm my time and energy are precious. I use them with wisdom and honesty. Finding the thumbs up in your heart when you stop hunting for approval out there. Something miraculous happens. The noise of the world quiets down. And in that silence, you can finally hear the voice of your heart. Your heart is already cheering for you. Your heart already knows that you are magnificent. Your heart is not critical or judgmental. It is simply waiting for you to come home. I want you to anchor in that approval whenever you feel that old urge to please someone. Just check in with your heart. Ask, is this yes coming from love or fear? If it's from fear, let it go. If it's from love, let it flow. You are safe to be real. You are safe to be different. You are safe to be you. The self-approval morning ritual. I want you to seal your freedom every morning before you enter the theater of the world. The hand on heart connect with your internal center. The release imagine cutting the invisible strings that connect you to other people's expectations. Feel yourself free, standing. The affirmations say it with calm strength. I release the need to please everyone. I am not responsible for other people's feelings or opinions. I approve of myself. I am free to be me. I trust my heart to lead me today. The smile, give yourself a real, private smile. This is your agreement with life. As you go through your day, if you feel anxious about what someone thinks of you, just remember that is their business, not mine. My business is to be authentic. You are retiring from the performance. You are joining the reality. You are free. The strings are gone. The hurt is full. The approval is yours. And so it is. The mirror of divine recognition, seeing the being behind the doing. Hello, my dear. I want you to find a quiet space where you can be alone for a few moments. If there is a mirror nearby, please stand before it. If not, just close your eyes and see your own face in your mind's eye. Today, we are going to practice one of the most powerful healing acts a human soul can perform. We are going to practice divine recognition. You see, most of the time when we look in the mirror, we aren't really seeing ourselves. We are looking for flaws to fix, or we are looking at the mask we have created for the world. We see the parent, the worker, the success or the failure. We see a list of titles and roles. We see a to-do list with skin on it. But behind the manager, behind the student, behind the provider, there is a being. There is a pure spark of the divine that has been there since the moment you were conceived. This being doesn't have a resume. This being doesn't have a bank account. This being is perfect, whole, and complete just because it exists. Today, we are going to break the performance loop. We are going to look past the doing and anchor ourselves in the being. We are going to say to that reflection, I see you, I love you. You don't have to do anything today to earn my love. The exhaustion of the human doing. We live in a culture that worships doing. We are asked, what do you do? Before we are asked, how is your heart? We have been conditioned to believe that our value is equal to our productivity. We think that if we have a busy day, we are a good person. If we have a quiet day, we feel guilty. This is the trap of the human doing. When you live as a doing, you are always on trial. You are only as good as your last achievement. This creates a deep soul-level fatigue. It's the feeling that you are running a race with no finish line. You perform your roles, the perfect partner, the tireless employee, the strong friend, and you hope that these performances will eventually add up to worthiness. But darling, worthiness cannot be built. It can only be recognized. You are not a machine that needs to be upgraded. You are a life that needs to be witnessed. Stripping away the titles, I want you to look in the mirror and peel away the layers. Imagine your job title falling off like an old coat. Imagine your family role-less daughter, son, mother, father falling away like accessories you no longer need to carry. Imagine your reputation and your history dissolving like mist. What is left when the doing stops? What is left when the titles are gone? What is left is the I am, that still quiet presence that observes your thoughts. That part of you that is the same today as it was when you were 5 years old. This is your divine identity. It is untouchable by the world. It cannot be promoted and it cannot be fired. It is eternal. When you recognize this part of yourself, the performance loop breaks. You realize that you have been working for approval that you already possess by divine right. You move from seeking love to being love, breaking the performance loop. The performance loop is a cycle of anxiety. It goes like this: I feel unworthy, so I must do something to prove my worth. I do the thing and I feel better for a moment. But then the feeling of unworthiness returns, so I must do something even bigger. This loop is what leads to burnout and resentment. The only way to step off the wheel is to declare your worth before you do anything. When you say to the mirror, you don't have to do anything today to earn my love, you are cutting the power to the hamster wheel. You are saying, my love is not a payment for your labor. My love is a gift for your being. This shifts your entire day. You might still do the same things. You might still go to work and take care of the family, but you will do them from a place of abundance rather than deficit. You are no longer running to get home. You are already there. Mirror work the gaze of divine love. Now look deeply into your own eyes in the mirror. Try not to judge what you see. Don't look at the puffy eyes or the gray hairs. Look at the spirit looking back at you. I want you to use your kindest voice. Say your name and then say, I see you. I see the real you behind all the roles. I see the one who is trying so hard. I see the one who has survived so much. And I want you to know you are enough right now. You are magnificent right now. You are loved right now. And you don't have to earn a bit of it. I love you just because you are you. This is divine recognition. You are acknowledging the divinity within yourself. You are aligning your opinion of yourself with God's opinion of you. And life always responds to self-love by bringing more reasons to love life. Releasing the human doing guilt. One of the symptoms of the doing addiction is guilt. We feel guilty. When we rest, we feel guilty. When we say no, we feel guilty. When we aren't improving ourselves, this guilt is the whip that keeps the human doing running. I want you to bless your stillness. Realize that rest is not wasted time. It is sacred time. It is the in-breath of life. You cannot breathe out forever without breathing in. When you anchor in self-acceptance. The guilt begins to evaporate. You start to see that being is actually your highest service. When you are centered and peaceful, you bless everyone you meet just by being in the room. Your peace is a greater gift to the world than your busyness affirms. It is safe for me to be still. My worth is not tied to my work. I am a human being, and I am proud of my beingness. The mirror of recognition. Ritual, I want you to make this your morning anchor before you put on your face for the world. Meet your spirit in the mirror. The silence. Stand before the mirror and just breathe for 30 seconds. Don't evaluate, just be. The recognition, look past the physical and identify the spark in your eyes. The decree, speak it with deep sincerity. I see you. I recognize the divine in you. I love you exactly as you are. You have nothing to prove today. You have nothing to earn. You are already a success because you are life itself. The acceptance, give yourself a gentle nod. This is your agreement with your soul. As you go through your day, if you feel the pressure to perform, rising up, if you start worrying about your job title or your status, just remember that moment in the mirror. Remember the being who is safe and loved regardless of the outcome. You are not your career. You are not your successes. You are not your failures. You are the magnificent being who experiences them all. The roles are temporary. The being is forever. You are loved for existing. And so it is trusting the natural self, the wisdom of effortless flow. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a moment and just look out a window if you can, or perhaps just picture a beautiful garden in your mind. Look at the trees. Look at the flowers. Look at the way a bird glides through the air. Have you ever noticed that nature never performs? A tree doesn't wake up in the morning and look at the tree next to it and think, oh dear, I must grow 3 inches taller today or the forest will think I'm a failure. A rose doesn't try to smell sweeter than the lily just to prove it deserves its place in the soil. Nature simply is. It functions through a beautiful, quiet intelligence that doesn't require trying, striving, or struggling. But we humans, we have been taught to do the opposite. We have been taught that if we aren't trying our hardest, we are being lazy. We have been taught that we must force our lives to happen. We force our careers, we force our relationships, and we even try to force our own healing. But darling, forcing is just another word for fighting. And when you are fighting against your own natural self. Today, we are going to learn the art of letting go. We are going to discover that when you stop trying so hard to be something you're not, your true natural talents begin to surface all by themselves. You become effortlessly effective because you are finally flowing with the current of your own life instead of swimming against it. The exhaustion of trying. I want you to think about the word trying. When you say, I am trying to be successful, or I am trying to be a better person, what is the underlying feeling? It's a feeling of strain, isn't it? It implies that there is a resistance you have to overcome. Trying is the language of the ego, which believes that it has to make things happen through sheer willpower. When you are trying, you are actually focusing on the difficulty. You are telling the universe, this is hard and I am not there yet. This constant striving creates a kink in your energy. It's like trying to drive a car with the emergency brake on. You might move forward, but it's loud, it's smoky, and it's deeply wearing on the engine. I want you to release the brake today. I want you to realize that you don't have to try to be you. You already are you. The oak tree doesn't try to grow. It just allows the life force within it to expand. I want you to start allowing your life to unfold. Affirm, I release the need to struggle. I trust the natural pace of my life. I am unfolding perfectly. Effortless effectiveness, the power of the natural state. When you stop performing and trying, a very miraculous thing happens. You become effortlessly effective. This doesn't mean you stop doing things. It means your doing comes from a place of inspiration rather than obligation. Think about a time in your life when you were in the zone. Maybe you were gardening or cooking or solving a problem at work. In those moments, you weren't trying, you were flowing. Time seemed to disappear. You were effective without effort. This is your natural state. This is who you are when the mask is off and the performance has ended. Your natural talents, those beautiful gifts the universe gave specifically to you, can only come to the surface when you are relaxed. Stress and strain actually lock your talents away. But ease is the K that opens the door. When you are at ease, you are magnetic. You attract the right people, the right ideas, and the right results simply because you are no longer fighting your own vibration. Respecting your internal seasons. Nature teaches us that everything has a season. There is a time for blooming, and there is a time for resting. There is a time for casting off leaves, and there is a time for growing deep roots. We often try to perform as if it is summer all year round. We think we should be productive every single day, every single hour. But if a tree tried to bloom in the middle of a blizzard, it would die. I want you to start trusting your own seasons. If you are in a winter period of your life, if you feel quiet or introspective or low energy, fight it. Don't try to force a bloom that isn't ready. Trust that the roots are growing. Trust that the life force is preparing you for your next spring. When you align with your natural cycles, you stop leaking energy. Through self-judgment, you realize that rest is just as effective as action. Affirm, I honor the rhythm of my soul. I am safe to rest, and I am safe to grow. Everything happens in divine right timing. Mirror work, seeing the organic. I want you to go to your mirror and look at yourself, not as a social project to be improved, but as a biological wonder. Look at the life in your eyes. That life knows exactly what to do. It knows how to heal a cut on your finger without you trying. It knows how to circulate your blood without you striving. I want you to say to your reflection, I trust the wisdom that created me. I stop fighting my own nature. I allow my natural gifts to shine through. I am a beautiful part of the whole. As you say these words, feel your body relax. Feel the ego step aside. You are handing the reins back to the infinite intelligence that knows how to grow a forest. You don't have to figure everything out. You just have to be the tree and let the life do the growing, releasing the comparison competition. One of the biggest fights we have with our nature is comparison. We look at someone else's bloom and we feel inadequate because we are still a seed, or we try to be a cactus when we are actually a fern. When you trust your natural self, you release the need to compete. You realize that your path is unique. You have your own watering schedule. You have your own sunlight requirements. When you stop trying to be like someone else, you finally discover why you are meant to be. And the universe has a special place for your specific kind of bloom. You aren't better or worse than anyone else. You are just necessary. The forest of life needs every single leaf to be authentic in order to be complete. Affirm, I am unique and wonderful. I release all comparison. I am free to be my natural, magnificent self. The natural flow morning ritual, I want you to anchor in your effortless power every morning before the noise of the world starts demanding a performance. The observation, spend 1 minute looking at a plant, pet, or even just the clouds. Notice how they function without struggle. The surrender, open your palms upward and say, I stop trying. I start allowing. The decree, speak it with peaceful confidence. I trust the natural intelligence of life. I am perfectly aligned with my own nature. My talents flow easily and effortlessly. I am effective, I am productive, and I am at peace. Life loves me and supports my growth. The movement, move your body in a way that feels organic. A stretch, a sway, a gentle walk. Don't exercise to punish yourself. Move to celebrate being alive. As you go through your day, if you find yourself clenching your teeth or forcing a result just softened, remember the tree. It doesn't clench to grow. It just stretches toward the light. You are Safi to be easy. You are Safi to be natural. You are Saf to be you. The struggle is over. The flow is beginning. You are nature in motion. And so it is. The permission to fail, decree unlocking the freedom to play. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a very deep, cleansing breath. Just let it go with a sigh. Feel the weight of the world lifting off your shoulders. I want to talk to you today about a word that has caused so much unnecessary pain in our lives. That word is failure. For most of us, especially those of us who have spent years performing, for others, failure is the ultimate boogeyman. We have been taught that a mistake is a stain on our character. We have been told that if we don't get it right the first time, we are somehow less than. We carry this heavy penalty for failure in our minds like a harsh judge standing over us with a gavel, ready to strike the moment we stumble. And because we are so terrified of that gavel, we stop trying, we stop exploring, we stop living, we stay in the safe zone, which is really just a small zone. But darling, I want to help you see mistakes in a completely new light. I want to give you a spiritual decree that will change everything. I want you to realize that an authentic person, someone who is truly calm in themselves, doesn't see a mistake as a failure. They see it as research. They see it as data. They see it as life telling them which way to turn next. Today we are going to remove the penalty. We are going to affirm with a joyous, light heart, it is safe for me to make mistakes. I am always learning and growing. The performer's prison, the trap of perfectionism. I want you to think about the performer within you, the one who is always on stage. For the performer, a mistake is not just a mistake, it is an exposure. It is the moment the mask slips and people see that you aren't perfect. This creates a state of high-level anxiety. You become like a tightrope walker who is so afraid of falling that they never look at the sky. Perfectionism is not excellence. Perfectionism is fear in a fancy suit. It is the belief that if we act perfect and we can protect ourselves from judgment. But protection is also imprisonment. When you are terrified of failing, you cannot innovate, you cannot play. You are so busy polishing the outside that you forget to nourish that glass box of perfection today. I want you to realize that imperfection is where the life is. A perfect diamond is just a cold stone, but a living flower has bent petals in unique spots. That is what makes it beautiful. Mistakes as research, the scientist of life. I want you to imagine that you are a scientist in the laboratory of life. Now, if a scientist is running an experiment and it doesn't work out the way they expected, do they sit on the floor and cry? Do they tell themselves they are a bad person and they should give up? Of course not. They say, how interesting. Now I know what doesn't work. This brings me one step closer to what does. They call it research. They call it discovery. I want you to become a scientist of your own soul. Every wrong turn is just information. Every awkward interaction is just practice. Every project that didn't take off is just training for the one that will. When you remove the penalty, you unlock the freedom to be curious. And curiosity is the antidote to fear. Affirm, I am a student of life. I welcome every lesson. I am curious, I am open, and I am safe. Unlocking the freedom to play. Do you remember how you played as a child? When you were in a sandbox, did you worry about the structural integrity of your sandcastle? Did you worry if your drawing was gallery quality? No, you just played. You experimented. You poked things just to see what would happen. Somewhere along the line, we lost our playfulness because we gained a sensor. We started evaluating everything before we even did it. But creativity and innovation require play. They require a safe space where you can mess up and laugh about it. When you give yourself permission to fail, you are actually giving yourself permission to succeed in ways you can't even plan for. You are inviting the muse back into your life. You are saying, I am willing to be a beginner. I am willing to be messy. I am willing to discover. This playful spirit is what attracts the most magnificent results. Mirror work forgiving the blunders. I want you to go to your mirror. I want you to look at that beautiful face and think of something you did recently that you felt embarrassed about. Maybe a mistake at work, maybe something silly you said. I want you to look into your eyes and say, I forgive you for that blunder. It was just research. You were learning, you were growing. I love you even more for having the guts to try. You don't have to be perfect to be wonderful in my eyes. Give yourself a big wry smile, chuckled at yourself a little bit. When you can laugh at your failures, they lose their power over you. They stop being heavyweights and become light bubbles. You are humanizing yourself. You are loving your learning process. The end of the penalty phase in many sports There is a penalty phase where you are sidelined for a mistake. Many of us have been sidelining ourselves for years. We punish ourselves by refusing to try again. We punish ourselves by negative self-talk. I am declaring the end of the penalty phase in your life right now. From this moment on, there are no penalties. There are only pivots. If something doesn't work, you pivot. If a door closes, you pivot. You are always in the game. You are always moving forward. You cannot fall off the path because the path is underneath you wherever you step. Affirm, I release all self-punishment. I am kind to myself as I learn. I am always on the right track. This kindness is the rocket fuel for your growth. You will grow 10 times faster through encouragement than you ever did through criticism. The permission to fail morning ritual, I want you to anchor in your learning freedom. Every single morning, 1, the shake your hands and feet as if you are shaking off all the shoulds and musts of the world. 2, the open heart. Place your hands over your heart and visualize it opening like a flower. 3, the decree, speak it with childlike joy. Today is a day of research and play. It is safe for me to make mistakes. I am curious about what I will learn. I remove all penalties. I am free to innovate, free to explore, and free to be me. All is well in my world. 4, the smile, give the universe a wink. You are in on the secret. Now, as you go through your day, if you trip or mess up, don't gasp, just grin. Say, how interesting, data collected. Moving on, you are unstoppable. Now, because you are no longer afraid of the fall, you are walking on air, you are living authentically. The mistake is information. The gavel is broken. The freedom is yours. And so it is dissolving the comparison trap, celebrating your unique spark. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a moment and just be very still. Feel the chair beneath you. Feel the air on your skin. And I want you to take a deep, loving breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you exhale, I want you to imagine you are releasing a very heavy, very dusty old book. This is the book of comparison. It is the book where you have been keeping track of how you measure up against everyone else in the world. We live in a time where it is so easy to compare our insides to everyone else's outsides. We look at our neighbor's house, we look at our friends' highlights on a screen, and we look at the success of people we don't even know. And every time we do that, we feel a little pinch in our hearts. We feel like we are falling behind. We feel like we aren't doing it right. But darling, I want to tell you a very beautiful truth. Performance is always relative to others, but becoming yourself has no competition. When you compare yourself to another, you are trying to be a second-rate version of them instead of a first-rate version of you. Today, we are going to dissolve the trap. We are going to realize that comparison is the thief of authenticity. We are going to affirm with a radiant heart, I celebrate my uniqueness. There is no one in the world who can be better than I can. The architecture of the trap, why we compare. I want you to think about why we compare in the first place. Usually, it's because we are insecure about our own value. We think that worth is a limited resource, like a pie. We think that if someone else has a big slice of booty or success, then there must be less for us. But darling, worth is not a hui. Worth is like the sun. The fact that the sun is shining on your neighbor doesn't mean it has less light for you. When you compare, you are stealing from your own authenticity. You are judging your seed because it doesn't look like someone else's tree. But a sunflower shouldn't compare itself to a rose. Both are perfect, but they have different purposes and different rhythms. When you compare, you are telling the universe, you made a mistake with me. I should have been like them. But the universe doesn't make mistakes. You were created with a specific frequency that the world needs. By trying to match someone else's vibration, you are muffling your own divine song. Becoming yourself has no competition. I want you to really digest this thought. There is no one in the world who can be you better than you can. You are the world's leading expert on being you. You have a unique combination of experiences, talents, quirks, and even flaws that no one else possesses. If you are competing with someone else, you have already lost because you can never be them. But if you are becoming yourself, you have already won because no one can beat you at being you. This is the end of the race. When you stop competing, the stress leaves your body. You no longer have to run to keep up. You can walk at your own natural pace. You can bloom in your own divine season. You aren't better than anyone else, and you aren't less than anyone else. You are simply necessary. The mosaic of life would have a hole in it without your specific color. Affirms, I release the need to compete. I am a unique and precious creation of life. I am exactly where I need to be. Comparison, the thief of your joy. Think about a moment when you felt truly happy and proud of yourself. Maybe you baked a simple cake, or you finished a small project, or you just had a good hair day. You felt wonderful, didn't you? And then what happened? Maybe you went online and saw someone who had baked a 5-tier wedding cake, or someone who had finished a huge career milestone. In that second, your joy vanished.
The cakey didn't change. Your hair didn't change, only your thought changed.
You allowed the thief of comparison to come in and steal your happiness. I want you to lock the door to that thief today. I want you to decide that your good is not measured by their good. You can applaud for others without diminishing yourself. You can say, Mao, look at their magnificent cake. I am so happy for them. And look at my beautiful cake. I am so happy for me. This is shared abundance. This is living in the truth. When you celebrate your uniqueness, you become immune to the pinch of envy. Mirror work, loving the one of a kind. I want you to go to your mirror. This is where we dissolve the trap with love. Look at your reflection. Don't look for how you compare to a magazine. Look for you. Look at the way your eyes crinkle when you smile. Look at the sound of your voice. Look at the way you think. I want you to say to yourself, I am a limited edition. There has never been another like me, and there will never be another again. I celebrate my quirks. I celebrate my history. I celebrate the special way I see the world. I am my own standard of excellence. As you say this, feel the armor of comparison falling off your chest. Feel your breath getting deeper. You are claiming your space. You are honoring the creator by honoring the creation. Your uniqueness is your greatest asset. In the business of life, the most valuable thing is rarity. And you, my dear, are the rarest thing there is. Your uniqueness is your greatest asset. It is your competitive advantage, not because you are fighting others, but because you are offering something that only you can give. When you try to fit in, you become invisible. You become interchangeable. But when you have the courage to be authentic, even if you feel odd or different, you become irreplaceable. The universe doesn't want another copy. The universe wants the original. I want you to lean into your differences today. If you have an odd hobby, love it. If you have a different way of speaking, cherish it. If you have a perspective that others don't understand, trust it. Affirm, my uniqueness is my power. I am free to be different. I am free to be me, dissolving the trap, morning ritual. I want you to anchor in your unique value every morning before you enter the comparison zone of the world. 1, the appreciation. Think of 3 things about yourself that are unique, maybe a memory, a talent, or even a physical feature. 2, the blessing. Look at the world and say, I bless your success and I bless my own. There is plenty for everyone. 3, the decree. Speak it with radiant joy. I am a unique expression of the divine. I release the trap of comparison. I am not behind and I am not ahead. I am exactly on my own beautiful path. I celebrate my uniqueness as my greatest asset. I am safe to be me. 4, the dance. Move your body in a way that feels uniquely yours. Don't perform a dance. Just let the energy move you. As you go through your day, if you feel that old habit of looking sideways at someone else's life, just blink your eyes. Say, that's their story. I am writing my story, and my story is magnificent. You are safe from the audit. You are free from the race. You are one of a kind. The trap is open. The thief is gone. The uniqueness is yours. And so it is. Listening to the quiet voice, turning down the world to hear your soul. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a moment and find a very comfortable place to sit. Just allow yourself to arrive. Let the chair hold you. Let the room surround you. And I want you to take a very slow, deep, loving breath. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine that you are turning down the volume on a very loud, very noisy radio. We live in a world that shouts. It shouts about what you should buy, who you should be, and how fast you should be moving. This is the world of the performer. When we are in performance mode, we are constantly listening to the shouting. We are listening to the expectations of our neighbors, the demands of our screens, and the critiques of our own ego. It's so noisy, isn't it? It's a constant static that keeps us feeling anxious and disconnected. But darling, beneath that noise, there is another voice. It doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, it whispers. It is the quiet voice of your intuition. It is the voice of your authentic self. When you finally stop the noise of performing, you can finally hear your soul's guidance. Today, we are going to practice the art of listening. We are going to affirm with deep, quiet peace. I listen with love to my inner voice. The performer static, why we can't hear. I want you to think about the noise in your life. I don't just mean the physical noise, like cars or televisions. I mean the mental noise. The I should do this, what will they think of that, and the I'm running out of time. This is the static of performance. When you are performing for the world, you are broadcasting. And when you are broadcasting, you cannot receive. You are so busy trying to project an image that you have no internal silence left to hear your inner wisdom. This is why we feel so lost and indecisive. We are trying to make big life decisions based on the shutting of the world rather than the wisdom of our own hearts. I want you to stop the broadcast today. I want you to realize that you don't have to figure everything out by listening to the experts out there. All the answers you will ever need are already inside you, waiting for a moment of silence to be heard. The whisper of intuition, your internal GPS, your intuition is like a divine GPS. It always knows the shortest path to your highest good, but unlike a regular GPS, it doesn't shout at you to turn right in 500 feet. It nudges. It feels like a quiet certainty. It feels like a soft warmth in your chest or a gentle gnaw in your stomach. The quiet voice doesn't use logic, it uses love. Logic will tell you to take the job because it pays more, even if it drains your soul. Intuition will whisper, this isn't for you, even if it can't explain why. When you start trusting the whisper, you stop making mistakes that cost you your peace. You move through life with a sovereign grace. You are no longer a puppet of the shouting world. You are a partner with universal intelligence. Affirms, I trust my inner knowing. I am always guided by the quiet voice of love. Clearing the channel, the power of stillness. How do we hear the whisper in such a loud world? We must clear the channel. We must create pockets of stillness in our day. Stillness is not doing nothing. Stillness is listening. If you want to hear your soul, you have to stop the performance for at least 5 minutes a day. You have to sit in a chair without a phone, without a book, and without a do list. You have to say to the universe, I am listening. At first, the shouting of the ego will get louder because it's scared of the silence. It will tell you that you are wasting time. It will remind you of unfinished chores. Just let those shouts pass by like clouds in the sky. Stay in the stillness. Eventually, the ego will get tired and sit down, and in that jap, the quiet voice will speak. It might not be words.
It might be a feeling of peace. It might be a sudden memory.
It might be a sense of direction. Value these quiet messages. They are gold for your spirit. Mirror work consulting the inner wise one. I want you to go to your mirror. Look deeply into your own eyes. I want you to acknowledge the wise one who lives behind those eyes. I want you to ask yourself a question you've been struggling with. Maybe it's about a relationship, a career move, or a health choice. Ask the question out loud to your reflection. And then don't answer it. Just look at yourself with love and silence. Wait for the feeling of the answer. Say to your reflection, I listen with love to my inner voice. I trust that you know the way. I am willing to hear the truth. This practice short circuits the performer's brain and activates the soul's heart. You are building a relationship with your intuition, You are teaching yourself that you are your own best counselor. Distinguishing the voice of fear from the voice of love. A common question is just, how do I know if it's my intuition or just my fear talking? It's actually very simple once you know the frequency. The voice of fear is usually frantic. It uses words like hurry, should, must, or else. It makes your body feel tight. It shouts about consensus. The voice of love is calm, even if difficult. It does so with a sense of peace. It feels solid. It doesn't argue. It just states the truth. When you hear a frantic thought, just say, thank you for sharing, but I am waiting for the quiet voice. Wait for the frequency to change. Your soul is never in a panic. Your soul knows that time is an illusion and that all is well. The quiet voice, morning ritual. I want you to tune your antenna every morning before you let the world start shouting at you. 1. The first minute before you get out of bed, before you check your phone, just be. Listen to your breathing. 2. The invitation, place your hand on your solar plexus and say, I am open. I am listening. What would you have me know today? 3. The decree, speak it with soft certainty. I listen with love to my inner voice. I am guided by divine wisdom in every moment. I turn down the noise of the world and turn up the volume of my soul. I move in harmony with the flow of life. 4. The silence, is spend 30 seconds in pure silence, just sensing the presence of your true self as you go through your day. If you feel overwhelmed by the noise of expectations, just pause. Take 1 deep breath. Drop into your heart. Ask, what is the quiet voice saying right now? Usually it is saying something very simple like breathe or walk away or trust. Follow the quiet voice, and the shouting world will eventually fall silent in respect. The noise is surface. The whisper is deep. The guidance is yours. And so it is the beauty of vulnerability, finding strength in your perfect imperfection. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a moment and just let your body relax into whatever is supporting it. If you are sitting, feel the chair. If you are lying down, feel the bed. Just let yourself be held. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine you are breathing in a soft, pink light of compassion. And as you exhale, let go of that tight, hard armor you've been wearing around your heart. Today, we are going to explore one of the most misunderstood and yet most beautiful parts of being a human being. We are going to talk about vulnerability. You see, most of us were raised to believe that vulnerability is a weakness. We were told that we must be strong, that we must have all the answers, and above all, that we must be perfect to be respected and loved. We think that if people see our cracks or our fears or our tears, they will think less of us. So we perform perfection, we put on a brave face, and we hide our struggles. But darling, perfection is like a glass wall. It might be shiny and it might be clean, but you cannot touch anyone through glass. It keeps you isolated. It keeps you lonely. The truth is, you are most beautiful when you are real. Authenticity is not about being flawless. Authenticity is being perfectly imperfect. When you finally stop performing strength and allow yourself to be vulnerable, you do something miraculous. You allow others to truly connect with you. Today, we are going to soften. We are going to affirm with deep self-love. I am safe to be real. My vulnerability is my bridge to love, the exhaustion of the perfect image. I want you to think about how much effort it takes to maintain an image of perfection. It's like being an actor in a play that never ends. You have to watch your words, watch your expressions, and watch your mistakes. This quest for perfection is a dead end. It is exhausting because perfection doesn't exist in the physical world. When you try to be perfect, you are rejecting your humanity. You are telling your internal self that you are not acceptable as you are. This creates a deep ache of loneliness. Even when people praise your perfect results, you don't feel love because you know they are praising the mask, not you. I want you to put down the mask today. I want you to realize that respect doesn't come from being infallible. True, respect comes from the courage to be honest. When you own your imperfections, you neutralize them. They stop being secrets and start being humanizing touches. Kintsugi, the beauty of the golden crack. There is a beautiful Japanese art form called kintsugi. When a piece of pottery is broken, they don't throw it away and they don't try to hide the cracks. Instead, they repair the pottery with liquid gold. The cracks become the most exquisite part of the bowl. They tell a story of resilience and transformation. I want you to see yourself as a piece of kintsugi art. Your mistakes, your heartbreaks, and your vulnerabilities are not flaws to be ashamed of. They are your golden veins. They are what make you interesting. They are what make you relatable. When you show your cracks, you give other people permission to show theirs. You become a safe harbor for honesty. You are perfectly imperfect, and that is divine. Vulnerability as a bridge to connection. Have you ever noticed that you love people more when they confess a small failing or a deep fear? When someone says, "I'm really struggling right now," or "I'm afraid I'm not doing a good job," your heart goes out to them, doesn't it? You feel closer to them. That is the power of vulnerability. It is the universal language of the soul. When you perform perfection, you intimidate people. They feel they have to perform back at you, and you both stay far apart. But when you are vulnerable, you open the door, you bridge the gap, you allow for true intimacy. You realize that we are all in this human adventure together. We are all learning. We are all growing. We are all messy. Sometimes, when you stop the act, you start the relationship. Affirm, I am willing to be seen. I am willing to be known. I connect with others through my honest heart. Mirror work, loving the messy. I want you to go to your mirror. Look at yourself after a long day, when your hair might be a little tousled or your eyes look tired. I want you to look at that vulnerable face and say, I love you even when you don't have it all together. I love you when you are scared. I love you when you are confused. I love you when you make a mistake. You are so beautiful in your reality. You are a magnificent human being, and I am proud of your open heart. Give yourself a long, loving gaze. This is radical self-acceptance. You are healing the need to be perfect. You are acknowledging that your worth is inalienable, no matter how messy life gets. The strength in I don't know, one of the most vulnerable and powerful things you can ever say is, I don't know. The performer is terrified of those words. The performer thinks they must fake it or make it up to stay respected. But when you say, I don't know, you clear the space for the truth to enter. You invoke the help of the universe. Honesty invites new information.
Humility attracts
Support. There is a massive strength in being secure enough in yourself to be uncertain. You don't have to be right to be good. You just have to be open. Affirm, I am comfortable with not knowing. I trust that the answers will come in divine timing. I am safe in my honesty. The beauty of being real. Morning ritual, I want you to anchor in your authentic beauty every morning before you enter the world of comparisons. 1, the softening. Roll your shoulders and let your chest feel open and soft. 2, the confession. Tell yourself one truth about how you are really feeling, even if it's anxious or tired. Say it without judgment. 3, the decree. Speak it with gentle courage. I am safe to be vulnerable today. I release the need to be perfect. I embrace my perfect imperfections. I allow myself to be seen. I am most beautiful when I am real. My honesty attracts love and connection. All is well in my messy, magnificent world. 4, the smile. Give yourself a gentle, knowing smile. This is the smile of someone who has nothing to hide. As you go through your day, if you stumble or if you feel overwhelmed, don't hide it. Just be with it. Say to yourself, this is just my humanity showing how exquisite. You are breaking the spell of perfectionism. You are stepping into the light of reality. You are free. The glass wall is down. The gold is in the cracks. The vulnerability is beautiful. And so it is returning home to the heart, becoming the sovereign of your soul. Hello, my dear. I want you to take a very deep, slow, and comforting breath. Just feel the air moving into your lungs, and as you exhale, feel your body settling. If you can place your hand over the center of your chest, right over your heart, can you feel that gentle beat? That is the rhythm of life itself, pulsing within you. We have traveled a long way together through these thoughts. We have looked at the masks we wear, the exhaustion of trying to be perfect, and the fear of not being enough. And now, We have arrived at the most beautiful destination of all. We are returning home. You see, for most of our lives, when we are performing for the world, we are living like spiritual orphans. We wander from person to person, from job to job, and from achievement to achievement, looking for a place to belong. We look for a home in someone else's approval, or in a bank account, or in a perfect image. But because those things are outside of us, they can never truly hold us. They are like rental properties that can be taken away at any moment. But the moment you stop performing, the very second you drop the act and stand in your simple truth, you arrive at your true home. You realize that you are not a wanderer, you are the sovereign of your own life. You are the queen or the king of your internal kingdom. You don't have to look for a place to belong because you are the place. Today we are going to settle in. We are going to unlock the front door of our own hearts and stay a while. We are going to affirm with a sense of deep, golden peace. I am at home in my own skin. All is well in my world. The end of the orphan consciousness. I want you to think about the orphan inside of you. This is the part of you that feels unprotected, unseen, and unsafe. This is the part that performs so desperately, hoping that if it is good enough, the world will adopt it. When we live in orphan consciousness, we are always begging for validation. We are starving for attention. We think that security is something someone else gives us. But darling, as long as you are performing to be accepted, you are still homeless inside. You are evicting yourself to make room for other people's expectations. I want you to stop the search today. I want you to look at that inner orphan and say, you don't have to wander anymore. I am here for you. I am your home. I am your safety. When you parent yourself with love, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the master of your internal atmosphere. You are no longer searching for home. You are being home, sovereignty, reclaiming your internal throne. What does it mean to be the sovereign of your life? It means that you have reclaimed the power to define your own worth. A sovereign doesn't ask for permission to exist. A sovereign doesn't check the polls to see if they are allowed to be happy. When you are performing, you have vacated your throne. You have let your boss or your partner or your past mistakes sit in the center of your life. But today, we are evicting the usurpers. We are polishing the throne. To be sovereign is to be self-governing. It means you listen to your inner voice above the shouting of the world. It means you approve of yourself, even when others disapprove. It is a state of quiet, unshakable dignity. You realize that you are divinely appointed to be the guardian of your own peace. Affirm, I reclaim my power. I sit on the throne of my own heart. I am the sovereign of my life. The comfort of being at home in your own skin. I want you to think about what it feels like to come home after a very long trip. You take off your shoes, you put on your comfy clothes, and you finally relax. You can exhale because you don't have to be anyone else in your own living room. Now, imagine feeling that way all the time. Imagine being at home in your own skin while you are at work, or while you are shopping, or while you are meeting new people. When you are at home in yourself, your skin is no longer a barrier. It is a sanctuary. You don't brace yourself against the world because you carry your comfort with you. You trust your body, you trust your mind, and you trust your feelings. You are no longer fighting your biology or judging your history. You are comfortable with your size, your age, and your journey. You are settled, you are solid, you are whole. Mirror work. The welcome home gaze. I want you to go to your mirror one last time. This is the grand finale of our work together. Look into your eyes and smile as if you are greeting your very best friend who has been away for many years. Say to your reflection, welcome home. I've missed you. I'm so glad you're back. You don't have to leave ever again. This heart is your permanent address. I am at home in you. I love you. I love you. I really love you. Feel the warmth of that self-welcome spreading through your chest. This is the end of the exile. You have returned to the source. You have found the belonging you were looking for, and it was inside you all along. Look at your beautiful face and nod in agreement with life. You are safe. You are secure. You are home.
All is well in my world.
Sovereign's decree. When you are at home in your heart, you can look at the chaos of the world and not be shaken by it. You realize that all is well because you are well. This is the sovereign's decree. It doesn't mean that difficulties never happen. It means that you are greater than the difficulties. It means that you trust the process of life to work for your good. You stop micromanaging the universe and start managing your internal harmony. When you say all is well in my world, you are setting the external experience. You are commanding your environment to align with your internal peace. You are with your atmosphere. You are set to thrive. You are set to succeed. You are set to be happy. The returning home nightly ritual, I want you to close your day by returning home every single night. 1, the hand on heart. As you lie in bed, place your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth. 2, the review. Look back at your day and bless every moment where you caught yourself performing. Say, I forgive myself for that mask. I am home now. 3, the decree. Speak it as a sacred whisper. I am at home in my own skin. I am the sovereign of my life. I release the world and return to my heart. I am safe, I am loved, and all is well in my world. I sleep in peace and I wake in joy. 4, the surrender. Feel your body melting into the bed, knowing that the universe is holding you while you rest. As you drift off to sleep, know that you are no longer an orphan. You are a beloved child of life, living in the mansion of your own soul. You have stopped performing and you have become yourself, and yourself is the most beautiful being in the infinite universe. The search is finished. The door, the home is you, and so it is.